Yeah, happy days. Hello and welcome to Les Oderants Season 5, Episode 10. I am Dan and I have an erection. I'm joined...
Oh, God.
I don't. But I should, because of the perfume I'm wearing that I'm going to tell you about in a second.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought I would lift your spirits with that one. I'm joined by Fliss and Ben. Say hello, Fliss and Ben.
Lift your spirits.
No.
Anything else lifted?
Yeah, okay, that did not have
I'm not sure I want to be here, to be honest. Yeah. I think it's time to leave.
Okay, that did not have the desired effect. Anyway, I was just smelling my hand. And okay, no, this is getting.
And I got a semi.
Yeah. Okay. So, for the avoidance of doubt, I am not engorged.
I have a perfume erection, which I totally understand.
A perfume erection.
I've had those before.
Oh, what a lovely thought.
No, but when I went to the Harrods with you a couple of years ago, I had to lie down on the banquette when I smelled dental au coeur.
Oh, yes,
that was
the banquette
the female equivalent.
The female equivalent, indeed. Well, okay, so I don't know why I thought I would open with such a bold statement, but I don't, and it's not really that good. Although it's very good. I've been going through a bit of a must downsize, must sell lots of perfume kind of thing, because I've got two cupboards that are dedicated to storing perfume in, and basically they're full. I can't close the doors properly. So what I've done is I've sold a bunch of stuff, and I've also taken a load of stuff out that I don't really wear but probably isn't worth selling, and I've just put it in a different cupboard. I've put it in a different cupboard and pretend it doesn't exist, you know. And one of the things that I got down today and thought, well, do I store it in quiet cupboard, or do I sell it, was Mugler Queer Impertinent. And it's really fucking good. It's really, really, really good. And I've been enjoying a few fragrances which are all in the same space, which is Mugler Queer Impertinent, Dusita Erawan, which
I
love
that perfume.
Exactly. And something that, regrettably, will trounce them both, which is Maison Violet, and the perfume is called Une aire d'apogée.
Oh, yes.
Okay. It's absolutely wonderful. And I managed to... someone sent me a sample, knowing full well that I'd love it, but they sent me a sample, and I did, and I went in search of it, and I was able to score a bottle from young Francis.
Lovely Francis.
Lovely Francis.
Talk about him in a bit as well.
Yes.
I have an aire d'apogée as well. Somewhere I have a sample. You talk about it, and I'll try and find something.
Well, it's got that hay. It's tobacco hay. It smells like, as soon as I sprayed it, I messaged the person who sent me the sample, and I said it smells like smoking a fag in a hay barn. It's really fucking good. It's just so good. And anyway, so that is good. Queer Impertinent, Dusita Erawan, Violet, Une aire d'apogée, all in that sort of space, and big love for all of them. Also, it occurs to me, by the way, because I'm a shit host, that I failed to explain where James is. And James made other plans because he thought we weren't recording tonight. So it was probably my fuck up, because I think I may have led him to believe we weren't recording. But in fact, as you can see, we are. Anyway, in other exciting-menty news this week, I also received a bottle of Hermes Barenia Intense.
Now.
Go on, Fliss. You sound like you have opinions. Please opine.
I don't have opinions because I haven't smelt it, but you will know how much I hated Barenia.
I did not know that, and I do.
Yeah, we talked about it, and I felt like it was just like a.
That presumes I can remember anything.
I know. To me, it felt like a dated fruituli.
Yes,
but I've heard really good things about the new one, and people are saying that actually the new one is what they should have released
well,
first time.
The new one definitely smells like a dated fruit chewy. So you may be in for disappointment, but it's
like a
disappointimenti. But it is very, very. I really like it. It's a good one. And I'm just looking at. Got some other bits. I've got Celine Rimbaud, which is basically like a politer version of Caron pour un homme. It's that sort of sugary lemon and a lot of, I guess, patchouli sort of stink, like quite damp. No, not patchouli, lavender. So it's like sherbet lemons in a bowl of kind of wet lavender, but somehow it works.
I quite like it.
Yeah, I think you would quite like it. It's really good. Like all the Celine perfumes, it's really classy and sort of understated. And so I've been rinsing that a bit this week. I mean that's mostly it, to be honest. I've been going through a whole fucking palaver at work, which has sort of kept me slightly distracted from perfume. So I don't have all that much to report. Ben, what have you got to report this week on perfume? I feel like this is a bumper week from Ben.
Yeah, no, not really. It's kind of average week, maybe. I have been like ploughing through the samples that I got from Wild Iris when I went shopping in there. And she literally gave me like a bag, like this bag, like pretty much half full of samples. And
nice.
Was just like, there you go. So I got loads of samples to dig through. And one that I thought was quite good and I thought worth mentioning, even though it was quite not boring is the wrong word, but it wasn't groundbreaking. Like it's very like a standard smell, was that Astrophil and Stella band that I mentioned before, one called Into the Oud.
Okay.
And it's like so as you'd imagine, it's like an oud fragrance, but it has that sort of nouveau monde, like toffee cacao kind of top with like a bit of a kind of boozy rum sort of vibe to it as well. But it's very sort of sweet and creamy and has this like this sort of like toffee caramel, like caramelized center kind of to it. But it's actually really nice, and I think it's really nicely done. The kind of oud, I don't know if it's real oud or not. To me, it smells like it's probably not, but it could be.
It could be. It might be.
But it's well done, you know. It has that slight smoky edge, a slight medicinal edge to it. It's good. I like it, and it's nothing groundbreaking. Like I say, it's not something. I think if you sprayed it, you'd be like, okay, I've smelled it before, and probably better as well. Because another one it reminds me a little bit of is Widian. It reminds me a bit of a Widian perfume.
Okay.
Not necessarily one in particular, but it has a Widian vibe to it.
I always think all the Widians have a sort of similar kind of, and I can feel James tutting as I say DNA, but I think they do have a similar vibe, and they all end up in this sort of vaguely, sweet vanilla, amber, woody kind of generic Arabic sort of zone.
Which is exactly what this has got to it, which is why I sort of felt like it had a bit of a Widian vibe. That's exactly it. Okay. It's quite vanillic, quite sweet. It has that kind of toffee-ish kind of texture in the middle kind of thing. But it is done well. And I think if I remember rightly, and I might not be remembering this rightly because my memory is absolute shit, but if I remember right, they were quite cheap. And I think if this was like as cheap as I remember it, which I think I remember being about 60 quid. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
the Astrophil and Stella. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just looking them up now.
Oh, right. So I think I remember them being quite cheap, like 60 quid-ish for 30 mil.
Oh,
and
really?
At that price, I think is very good. Like, didn't blow me away in terms of being original or anything, but it's just a very nicely done kind of sweet toffee-ish oud kind of thing.
Do you know who the perfumer is?
I do not.
It's Bertrand Duchefort.
Is it really?
No way.
It is.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, Uncle Bertie.
Oh, Bertie Douche.
Bertie the douche.
I used to love him so much. I think I've changed my allegiances now to Antoine Lee, or Lai, whatever his name is.
I don't know. We use them interchangeably around here.
We use them interchangeably. But Bertie was my gateway drug. He was my gateway
He was your marijuana, was he?
He was my sugar daddy into perfume. And there was a point at time, a long time ago, where I would just buy anything, obviously on the grey, that he had created. And my entire collection was almost entirely Bertrand.
Right.
So that's interesting, yeah.
Well, I'm just looking on 50ml website, the Interlude Extrait de Parfum 50ml is £125.
Well, that's a bit more than I remember. I'd still say it's probably fair. Like, I wouldn't be upset by it. Yeah, no, if I'd have bought that, I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I think it's. So I sort of was smelling that under the impression that it was cheaper than that, but still, I still think it's nice. I think it's well done. I don't think I'd buy it at that price because it doesn't. It is. I've smelled it before, and I've probably got 2 or 3 bottles over there that smell quite similar. But it was good. I would, if you like those sorts of things, I would say it's definitely worth seeking out and giving it a sniff. Just nice bottles as well and stuff like that. Yeah, so I thought it was quite good. The other ones that I've been working through that I have really been digging into is essential parfums, which I've smelled some of them before. James, I recall, sent us the musk before, but I've been trying some others, and I thought they were all great, every single last one of them. The musk, does anyone remember that? Am I going crazy? Did James send us that?
He sent it to you during the musk episode, which was before my time. Was before my
right, okay. It's so good. Do you remember it, Dan?
The Essential Parfums one.
Yes,
yeah. I do, and I remember it as a sort of nice, clean white musk sort of thing, a warm, sensual,
really
sensual,
basic,
darling.
but
basic as fuck.
Yeah, really basic because it's just a musk fragrance. It doesn't do anything else, but really. And I would say this for all of the essential parfums that I've smelled, is that they're really basic, but really good at what they're doing. So it doesn't matter that it's basic. It's like,
sort of like a camel-coloured cashmere jumper.
Yeah.
Just like absolutely a basic, but a luxuriously excellent basic.
Yeah, I nearly bought that exact jumper that you're describing this week, and then I was I don't need another one.
I did buy it. I'm wearing it, except it's not camel coloured. But I bought a jet black cashmere jumper with no logo or anything on it on Sunday when I went to visit Anna in Leeds, and this is
so good. They're just so good.
Well. This is how pathetic a human I am. I went into the shop and I tried it on, and Anna said, "Oh, Dad, you look really good in that." And I was like, "Right, I'm fucking buying it then," because it's like I get a compliment and it's like, "Right, I've got to have that." Yeah, no, and then I go around telling people, "No, I don't wear perfume for compliments. I wear it just for myself."
I just wear my cashmere jumpers for compliments.
I dress however I like. I wear the perfume I want, but please give me compliments, please. Yeah, because I am basically pathetic. So
a good staple is what we're talking about. It's like a really good staple, a really good easy reach staple. You're going to wear it. You know it's good quality. You know that it's just going to fill a gap for your day. No one's going to be offended by it. It's not saying anything new, but what it is saying is it's saying the same thing but really well. Yeah, well articulated.
And I remember it with the ingredients that James sent before as well. That and there's something quite like addictive with this perfume as well, and it's like you smell it and you go, "Oh yeah, smell it. It's a musk, yeah, and it's nicely done." And then you sort of stop smelling it and you think it starts like boring into your brain. Like, this is actually really good. You need to smell that again. Like, sniff your hand again because you love it. Like, and it's just it just draw you in despite being quite simple. But I would say, as far as a musk perfume goes, I think it's probably my favourite, like, sort of musk. I don't know if you'd call it a soliflor, but that's it's basically what it is. A solimusk, yeah. I would say it's probably the favourite one I've ever smelt now, because I've been wearing it quite a lot, and it's not got any less boring.
James sent some fucking delightful perfumes when we did that. I remember Over the Musk in particular grabbed me, the Mugler one.
And I've managed to smell that, but people talk about it.
It's fantastic. They for some reason that recently reappeared on their website, but they're charging like 230 quid for it, which is a fucking. I mean, I guess 230 quid. It's objectively expensive these days. But it's not insane. The problem with it is that everybody knows that, you only had to pay 70 quid back in the day. So people are kind of, pissed off at the idea of having to pay that sort of money. That's the biggest issue with that pricing problem. Not that 230 quid is intrinsically a bad price. I mean, obviously it's expensive, but yeah, I think they may have shot themselves in the foot a little bit with that. Cool. So
that Perfume Essentials is a Khalees Becker.
The Musk one is. Yeah.
What did she do? Is it a she? It is a she, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Khalees.
I'm just looking it up now.
Khaleesi.
She does good stuff. You chat on. I'm just looking her up because I'm really
But just
curious.
a quick blast as to the other one that I really enjoyed from them was Neroli Botanica, which is worth, I think, talking about for me, but just because simply I'm not that into Neroli perfumes. Like, I feel like they're like, okay, whatever. I've got my Deceitas that I like, and outside of that, I don't really sort of go too far. But this one, bloody beautiful. It's like this. Obviously, like Neroli is like the massive part of it. So you have these kind of like quite soft white florals, not over the top, quite light. There's some citrusy kind of vibes to it, but then it's got ginger in it, which is great. And it's like
love
gingery,
a bit of ginger.
And but it has this like spicy, gingery, peppery bit, and it like just edge to it, and it's great, man. And I thought it was brilliant for wrong time of year, really, but really, really good. Neroli Botanica, I thought was an excellent perfume, and it's with the musk one as well. It feels basic, but it just feels so well done that it's worth sniffing again and again, if you know what I mean. Which I think is something that actually reminds me a little bit of like the old Hermes perfumes sometimes, like some of those. They were quite basic in many respects, but they had like a quality to them that made you keep coming back and sniffing them again, because it was just so good. It was so well done, if you like. And that, I feel like that is true of these. So really been having a great time with Essential Parfums. I smelled a couple of others of theirs. I didn't like them as much. The Patchouli Mania one wasn't a huge fan of, but then I'm not a big fan of patchouli. It's a very dank, dark green, sort of wet patchouli in the lines of Magildino Xenia or whatever, however you pronounce that.
Okay.
Indonesian patchouli, I think it was called.
Yes.
In the vein of that, with that sort of quite dark, dank patchouli. But it was still well done. But it's just that wasn't really my cup of tea.
They're very well priced.
Which surprised me actually, because they smell really good. Like really, they smell quite posh, I think.
They do, I was talking to Deria, who owns Parfum La Dance in Richmond, the only UK stockist of Soma Parfums. Get that in sideways. But I was talking to Deria about it, and she was saying that the Essential Parfums are basically flying off the shelves. People are loving them because they are, really good quality, nicely presented at a very good price, and she can't stop selling them. So
how much are there? 100ml bottles, aren't they? They come in.
Yeah, I think I'll have to look this up now. I thought they were about 80 quid for 100 ml.
Fuck me.
Yeah, they are. I've got the site open at the moment. So they're 88 euros for 100 ml.
Yeah.
Which in euros is slightly different. I'm just going back to that Khalees Becker situation.
A situation, eh? Do we have a situation with Khalees?
Well, I mean, basically, she has made some really big hitters. She's made pretty much everything that Kilian has ever put out, as far as I can work out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's like, super house perfumer for Killian. She also did J'adore, which is a massive commercial success. She did Donna Karan Gold, which is mwah. She did Beyond Paradise for Estee Lauder, again another massive commercial success. And then a bunch of like Cuir de Lancôme, which is, if you can get your hands on it, people will pay stupid prices because it's so good. I'm just looking through her work. She's done some really, really lovely things. So it doesn't surprise me that in amongst all of those things, she can come up with a fucking good musk. Oh, she did Vent Vert for Pierre Balmain as well, which is just like
the new one, presumably, not
1991.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's been in the game a long time. She knows what she's doing.
Been in the game. She's 3 generations deep in gangsterdom.
She is. She also did Velvet Orchid for Tom Ford.
Good fucking God.
Yeah, she knows what she is doing. She's a fucking goddess.
What a fucking underachiever. Useless.
Yeah, useless.
I hate her already. Good. Okay, so you're a big fan, Ben, of Essential Parfums and also the Astrophil and Stella line.
Yeah. I mean, the Astrophil and Stella, that I would say a bit more hit and miss. I've smelled about 4 or 5 of them now, and a couple of them I liked. The rest I wasn't especially excited about. I wish I liked them more because the branding and the bottles and the kind of names were cool. Like the Shanghai 1931, beautiful bottle, great name, but the perfume just doesn't live up to it.
I just want it just for the name and the bottle.
I know, and the perfume just didn't live up to it.
Sounds so romantic.
Yeah, but yeah, no, Essential Parfums, I really liked all of them that I've smelt so far. Even the patchouli one, which would not necessarily be my cup of tea, I still didn't mind it.
Everybody loves though, didn't they? And I'm not.
I don't.
I can't be doing that. I can't be doing with that one.
Yeah. James described it brilliantly as being really high pitched, and I think that's right. It's all treble and no fucking mid.
Bass.
It's just sort of whining noise. It sort of smells. It smells pleasant for a tiny little bit. Like I could enjoy it for 5 minutes, but unfortunately there is no 5-minute version of that perfume. It basically hangs around for like 24 to 36 hours uninvited. It's a bit of a twat, that one. All right, anything else from you, Ben?
That's about it, really. I've been wearing that Arion again a lot, and the same old, really. Royal Crown Imperator, wore that the last few days. Had lots of people tell me that it smelled very nice, which was cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, about that, but that's about it.
Cool. All right. So that sounds like quite a productive week in perfume for you. Fliss, have you had a productive week in perfume?
I don't know about productive. I took a receipt from Claire Bradshaw.
I took receipt. Did you hand over a receipt?
No, I didn't. I didn't give her any money. She just sent me this little bottle of Armani. It's
what is it?
1981 bottle of original Armani.
Wow.
Armani, and it smells amazing.
Wow.
It's a proper chypre floral. It smells very, very 1981, if you know what I mean. I put it under the nose of my husband, and he said it smelt like a spicy panther, which I think is probably about right. And so it's all... it opens with these huge soapy aldehydes, which are very, very clean and very creamy and soapy. And then it's got a load of galbanum. It's got marigold, bergamot, pineapple. It's got a mint note that runs through the first 20 minutes, which makes it so fresh. And then it just calms down to this beautiful sort of orris, tuberose, rose softness, tonka bean, sandalwood. I mean, it's like every 80s frag. It's got literally every fucking thing in it apart from the kitchen sink. Very hard to pick any of those things out. The oak moss in particular, because obviously everything's banned now, so they would never be able to make this now in the same way. The oak moss is really strong, and I didn't think that I would like it as much as I do, but having worn it for a couple of days, I'm just like, oh, it's a really lovely it's not an office scent in the modern sense.
No.
I would wear it to work and people would bow down and part and do what I told them.
Well, I think they would do that anyway, Fliss, if I'm honest. You give off that aura, but yeah, I expect they would. I feel I am semi-confident that Claire LH, occasional listener of the show, once sent me a sample of the women's Armani from yesteryear, because she thought it was an interesting example of a perfume that at the time definitely would have been marketed as feminine, but these days, had it been released,
so super unisex.
Exactly.
Super unisex now.
Yeah, totally. And that was my sort of abiding thought also. Just on that point, I am mystified by the way that this Barenya Intense, and I think I've lost the sample I was sent of the original Barenya. I'll have to try and find it. But I am still baffled that this is marketed as feminine. I mean, even by kind of quite... I don't know. Even by any standards, I would describe that as a sort of as a unisex, bordering masculine perfume. It just seems like completely miscategorized to me.
I think things often are, though, aren't they? And I think there's so much of it's about its timeness. You know. Yeah. It's just marketing. It's just marketing. What was considered to be feminine in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, I think, is now deeply unisex. But then you go even further back into the 20s and things like Mitsuko and Jiki and Shalimar. Shalimar was more feminine, but Jiki and Mitsuko, I think, are totally unisex.
The Samsara as well.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I love Mitsuko. I think it's.
I know you love it.
It is. I mean, I would argue it's quite a masculine perfume by today's standards.
I think so.
But
I think a lot of the old Guerlain ones are quite masculine. You know, you would probably be labelled as masculine now if they'd come out now.
It's strange, isn't it? But yes, changing trends. Okay,
which is weird when. Sorry, just to go on that note, just when you consider the fashion of those times in France, you know, women were very. Still, presented very feminine in terms of little dresses and things like that. It was hyper feminine, really. So it's quite interesting that the perfume is not the things that we would associate with femininity as such now. It's quite a clash compared to the visual aesthetics of the times. I guess.
Totally. I mean, if you look at that whole Dior new look with that super nipped in waist and that huge skirt, and you would think it would all smell of, light roses and fluffy flowers. And actually, they're, in the 40s and stuff, there was, femme Rochas or Rochas femme, whatever you want to say. That is a deeply heavy, sexy fuck off scent.
Yeah,
that is like full on sex.
Full on sex.
But it really is. It's so full of cumin and sweat and plumminess, and there's a Uranus quality almost of it. It's
Uranus.
Dirty knickers. It's dirty knickers.
Wow.
And then,
that really jumped up a notch. Uranus.
It is. There was that pissy quality, I think. That we don't have in our perfumes anymore. We've been so super clean since the 90s. Animalics have changed a lot.
Yeah, well, actually, I want to talk about trends a little bit. But before we get onto that, are there other perfumes that you've been sniffing this week, Fliss?
The only other one thing I want to talk about is, and it's perhaps maybe a little previous, but Francis Benton, who you mentioned earlier, has launched his first perfume. He has a candle brand, and it's called Again, and he has a candle brand and a wax melt brand, and he's launched his first perfume. And he sent me a little earlier mod, and then he sent me a bottle of the finished product, and it's.
Did you pay?
So good.
Did you pay him for the bottle?
No, he just
bitch.
very
I paid.
sent it to me.
I paid, and then I did him some photographs and sent them to him for free.
Oh, so I think it is so accomplished and not like a first perfume. I think there's such a huge nod to what we're talking about in terms of these vintage perfumes. There's a huge, lovely green top. There's a very waxy aldehyde that I recognise from that aldehyde episode that we did that gives it almost like a waxy candle feel. But then the depth of then what else you smell almost feels like vintage chamade, that Guerlain chamade, that green garden that has just got all the flowers in. It's got yang and tuberose and jasmine and rose and lavender and lotus and just a clove and galbanum and everything. It's just all in there, and it should smell like a fucking mess, and it doesn't. It
doesn't at all. And do you know, the first brand that I thought of when I sprayed it was actually Grossmith.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because they've got these sort of very decadent vintage feeling florals, which are quite out of place in today's market, I would say, but are, really for people, I sound like a twat, but connoisseurs of perfume. These are not kind of everyman perfumes by any stretch of the imagination. The only criticism I would offer Francis on this perfume is simply this: why call it femme? I mean, why? Because it's this, to me, it's like I wear the absolute fuck out of it, you know. And I, sure, I don't mind wearing a perfume called Parfum, but I feel like it automatically turns off a bunch of people who will go, oh, that's not for me because I'm not a femme, But I think it's superb. And you're right, it's incredibly accomplished for a first perfume. So, kudos to young Francis. He's a terribly good egg. And Ben and James, indeed. I'm sure I have to send you some samples of this because I think you'll really enjoy it.
It's funny, isn't it? If it's got flowers, call it femme. Do you know what I mean? That's what we were just sort of talking about. Like, it's weird, though, isn't it? But
it's not like but
it's not huge. It doesn't come across massively floral. It comes across, like I said, in that kind of vintage way that we were just talking about, some of those early Guerlains where we think of them as female perfumes, but actually they're deeply unisex in the same way as this Armani is. The richness and plushness of what he's put together has got such a foot in the vintage that I genuinely think it could be unisex. If you love that kind of stuff, then you're going to be all over it.
100%. And the funny thing, of course, about Francis is that Francis wears plenty of perfumes called Parfum, and I don't think he's personally got a hang up about it.
No.
So my guess is it was probably a conscious choice. I think it's smashing first perfume, and I was like, have you got an Instagram? Because obviously I'll tag you, and he was like, no, haven't, not yet.
He's made this beautiful thing, and he needs to now think about how he's going to market it, I think.
After he'd sent out free bottles to like yourself and a few other people, he then sold the remaining 8 or whatever on Facebook, and I bought one of them. But I'm
he didn't
more
make
than
a very big run, but I think that
£35 I think I paid for this.
£35, ridiculously cheap. But I think that the feedback that he's got should make him rethink a marketing strategy and his price point, so that he can then go out into the world and be able to afford to do this more. Is what I would want.
Sometimes when it's like your first thing as well, there's that kind of imposter syndrome vibe. You know what I mean? Like where you feel like, well, surely it's not worth more, or I can't be charging that much, or I'm not a real brand, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like all sorts of reasons.
I can't imagine he's even made his cost back, to be honest. When you look at the bottles and everything, he's just covering it. But I think that what my hope for him is that with this feedback, he then just goes, okay, right, let's sit down, rethink, price accordingly, and go for it.
I personally, if I were offering him feedback, I would say rename it. But apart from that,
yeah.
it's a fucking smashing perfume, and great job, and actually quite kind of cute minimalist bottle. It's it's not.
It's a nice little bottle, isn't it? It has a lovely hand feel. He's obviously thought about the bottle that he's put it in, and
it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Right. So, anything else you want to say about perfume? All right.
That's my thing.
That is enough of us telling the world how wonderful Francis is. So I think let's push on. I did mention, and we were sort of straying into it there, almost kind of organically. I wanted to talk about the trends, the mega trends of the past kind of, I guess, 12 months or so. It feels like, we're getting into the tail end of the calendar year now.
It's ramping up for Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the last 2 months of the year are basically the tail end. We've got fucking 10 months out of the year out of the way already. That's mental. And so, I was starting to reflect a little bit on, what perfumes I thought had been my favourites of the year and all that kind of jazz. And but I thought, what might be an interesting discussion was some of the mega trends. I was sort of going to riff on what you were suggesting. Who was suggesting it? I can't remember who was saying it now. This is how bad my memory has become. I cannot remember things that happened like 7 minutes ago. It's so, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't even really matter what I was going to riff on, but the thought that sort of briefly went through my pea-sized brain was that, on the whole, I think, certainly at a commercial level in perfumery, nostalgia perfumes are basically dead now. Everything seems ultra modern, and Francis has made this again, pour femme, which is a lovely sort of vintage feeling thing, but that's it's an aberration, right? This is a young guy making 8 bottles of perfume. This is not Chanel launching their next big thing, and I'm not sure there ever was that much nostalgia, but certainly I feel like everything is just kind of facing forward to the future. I don't detect any nostalgia stuff.
I kind of agree, but I would disagree on this point.
No, sorry, you're not allowed.
No. As much as what I have seen is a lot of this year flankers coming out. Flankers coming out as extraits.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been a year of that kind of, this perfume that you love is now an extrait.
Yes.
This perfume that you love is now, and it's not even just extraits, is it? There's other words for it. And it just
absolute. Elixir.
Elixir extrait absolute. Exactly that. So we're not going to make a new thing. We're going to make this an elixir absolute extrait.
And charge you fucking 200% more.
Fucking 200 quid for it.
Funnily enough,
for me, is what I've noticed this year.
Funnily enough, when I wasn't buying cashmere sweaters on Sunday, I popped in the Byredo store in Leeds, and I was talking to the guy who runs it. He's called Liam. He's a good egg, but he was saying basically the absolutes have more or less killed the entire eau de parfum line. Like, people are just, they just go in and it's like, well, you can have it in the lower, cheaper concentration, or you can have it in the more expensive, more expensive, higher one, please. And they're just selling those hand over fist. And it's,
that then fits into the next thing, which is fucking beast mode.
Was beast mode the next thing?
For me, I feel like that elixir extrait absolute intense is then all about this. Everything has to just be huge.
Yeah. It's an incredibly simple marketing trick, isn't it? Like, look, here's this thing that you like, but more. Yeah. And everyone just like, wow, like, I definitely want that.
I want more.
Yeah, it's because that's the way they market these things, isn't they? Just like it's the same as your old one. Because I remember going back, and I'll talk about Le Sel d'Issy in a moment. But when I went into the perfume store to smell Le Sel d'Issy for the first time, obviously the perfume store is like trash tier perfume shop, right? It's like the one in the mall sells like junk.
Yes.
And
yes, for our American colleagues, they need to know this. This is the bullshit here.
It's the worst. And obviously the salespeople in there are they're just like part-timers. They don't care. They just work in retail. They just want to go home, right? And this lady came in and she was asking the difference between the Sauvages, and basically their sales patter for the different Sauvages was, well, basically the more expensive you go, the longer they last.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
That was it. And so that was, for she's just simplify the entire X-ray, because there's about 4 different ones, isn't there?
Yeah.
So just to simplify it, that's just what they tell people. Because I kind of overheard this and was like, oh yeah, but yeah, that was the way they sold it to people, and that the person, unsurprisingly perhaps, was like, well, I want the one that lasts the most. I want the biggest one. Like,
well, interestingly, I mean, she's not completely wrong. It's just that she's only telling you half the story.
Yeah.
So it's, I guess, looking through a particular lens on that stuff. But yeah, everything is getting stronger. But I mean, it isn't even just the, hey, let's reformulate this stuff and make it like 38% fucking concentration. I think there is just a use of materials thing that, and it's largely Quentin Biche is doing this, right? Where he's taking these kind of nuclear, like, aroma chemicals and sort of fizzing them up with some sort of transparent florals and stuff, and going, right, here's your new thing, and everybody goes, wow, this is fucking amazing, it's so strong. And it's like, yeah, it is. And it's, I mean, we mentioned the Bois Imperial before. That is so absurdly tenacious. I don't know. James often points out that it might not be the Akijala wood, but I mean, it seems to be that thing that's in everything. It's bananas. Well, it doesn't smell like bananas. Although, interestingly, if you want a perfume that does smell like bananas, Acer Aluminium by Creed smells bananas. Very strange. But yeah, it's just such a fucking like sledgehammer thing, and to the extent that when you're walking down the road, you can smell a perfume, and you don't even necessarily know which perfume it is, but you know who the perfumer is, which is fucking bizarre. It's that
beast mode / biche mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Is a thing for me, and it's so not my style. I totally understand that everyone loves him and that he's changed the face of perfumery. He's changed the fashion of perfumery in his work. His body of work is now
his oeuvre. His oeuvre
has become a phenomenon, really, but that phenomenon is not for me.
No,
and I don't. I feel a lot of the time as if the subtlety of wearing the same perfume but getting something out of it, depending on the weather or depending on your mood or noticing a different note. I feel like that with the biche stuff. I just don't get that. It's just that you get the one thing and it's just that, and I find it hard to wear. I find all of his stuff hard to wear.
Do you own any?
It's a style thing.
No Quentin Biche. Ben, do you have them?
Yeah, I mean, the Le Sel d'Issy.
Oh, wow,
Biche.
okay.
Yeah, and it's completely nuclear, it lasts all day, and they've just released an Absolute version. So,
this was the last thing anyone needed.
Yeah, it baffles me, because it lasts all day, like 24 hours easy. It's nuclear stuff.
It's like the Guidance 46. It's like, Guidance was already pretty fucking massive.
What? Why?
Do you need to make a different...
Why did you do that? Is there something wrong with you? Well, it might just be the Byredo sort of strategy, which is, all right, well, we sold every cunt this that we can. Now let's release the stronger version and sell them that one as well. They didn't realise they needed it as well. And good news, the cost of sale for us. It only costs us the same amount to sell this perfume. You know, the actual increment in the perfume oil content is kind of
minimal.
It's fuck all in the overall cost kind of calculation of the product. But hey, look, now I can sell this for 350 quid instead of 250 quid. Fucking Bob's your uncle.
I got to admit, I'm a bit of a sucker for the dark mode bottles, though. Do you know, like it's I do like them. Like, you know, the Dior Privé, the dark mode Dior Privé, and because they always come out in the same bottles, but just slightly darker, inevitably. Like, you know, and I do like the look of them. I'm like,
pretty.
Oh, they look good. That would look lovely on my shelf, collecting dust with all the others.
Get some dust, you cunts. Interesting. You mentioned Celle d'Issy, actually, because I know you'd mentioned previously, Ben, that you thought salt generally was a sort of mega trend.
Yeah, so I just didn't really when Le Celle d'Issy came out, I was like, oh, that's interesting, because salt is obviously not a new, you know, like note. It's obviously a bit of a fantasy note, but it's not a new note in perfumery, right? But I thought it was interesting that like a mainstream perfume was choosing to go that route so heavily, because it's quite an unusual one, isn't it? And it is not an unusual perfume, but it's a little bit testy for something you'd buy in the perfume shop. Do you know what I mean? It is a little bit strange in that way. And then I started noticing more and more, like, there's another perfume come out with salt in it, and another one. And like in the last year, there have been hundreds. And there's like, so you have like, Le Beau Paradise Garden by Jean-Paul Gaultier, Le Celle d'Issy Miyake. Then you got Gaultier Divine de Parfum, Jean-Paul Gaultier again. Chou Chou by Fliss. Pacific Rockflower, Goldfield and Banks. Cinque Terre, Mancera. Fortuitous Finlay.
Did you just say fucking Mancera?
I did, yeah, it was Cinque Terre. A Grove by the Sea, Arquiste. Immortal Vanilla by Zara. See My Love by Stefan Humbert Lucas. There's just hundreds of perfumes that have got salt in them, and I just think this is, I say it's not a new thing, but I think it certainly seems like a bit of a trend where they're like all coming out at the same time. I bought 2 perfumes in the last couple of weeks. One of them was a Serge Luton, has like salt as a major element, and the second one was a Beaufort, which again has salt as a major element. So it was just interesting.
That sand and skin that we keep wobbling on about as well, that comes from the Harris calendar, the Floricu as well, that's got a really salty note that I like. I think it might be the savouring up of all of those gourmands that we've had. We had that massive, really sweety gourmand trend, and then we're now savouring, making it all a little bit more savoury, a little bit more adult.
Well, it's all very sort of sea as well, though, like sea air and sea, the idea of sea, which again is not new, obviously, like, you know, perfumes, like, but I think what is quite interesting is, in the past, sea fragrances never actually smell anything like the sea, whereas these now tend to at least be trying a little bit more, which I think is interesting. Just something that I think is really interesting, you have to look at this perfume, right? I was searching, obviously, for salt perfumes that were released in the last year, right? And this came up. I'll pop it in the private chat, because I want you to experience this at the same time.
Okay.
This is called She Is Cat by House of Atropa.
What? Hang on.
I don't know if one of you guys want to describe that, what we're looking at there.
I can't see the private chat.
Oh my god! That is
my good god.
That is a hairy
Furby bottle. Basically. It's like a Furby bottle.
That's the best bottle I have ever seen in my life.
Is that really a bottle?
Yeah, if you go down and check out the user's pictures, you'll see.
Oh my god.
Everybody needs to look this shit up. That is amazing.
She Is Cat.
They also do one called Cat Noir, which is the same but in black, and it's got a little, like, almost like bondage neck thing on.
It basically looks like a Furby, but with perfume inside. I guess it's basically a really long-haired bottle. Like one of those white long-haired cats, but in bottle form. And it's called She Is Cat, also, which I like. She Is Cat. Yeah, all right, fair.
Yeah, I mean, She Is Cat. Good. Right, I'm just sending this to a friend saying, I feel you need this perfume.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Look it up, people.
Yeah. So, wow, what the utter fuck? That is bizarre.
I can only hope that will become a sub-trend. Hairy bottles.
No.
I think hairy bottles as a mega trend is a good plan. I'm down for it. I really
hate that. I hate the what's the word? The novelty bottle.
A novelty bottle.
Yeah, Sarah Baker did one, a tropical one with false eyelashes on the bottle.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really, yeah.
And I was just like, the perfume inside I really quite liked, but I just couldn't bring myself to buy the tacky eyelashes.
My favourite's the Moschino one in the like Jif spray bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's silly.
That's cool.
But that's the whole brand aesthetic for them, isn't it? It's so stupid, like nonsense. But I think hairy bottles sound wildly impractical.
I thought that if you're going to get it all sticky and like from the perfume, because I've got a few perfumes that leak from the atomizer when you spray it, and
of course
it's just going to mat up and be like, ooh, she is dirty cat.
She's dirty cat. She's sticky cat.
Excellent. Right, so fucking she's dirty cat. Lovely. All right, so salt has been a mega trend. Beach mode and beast mode is a mega trend. I'll tell you about a mega trend that's getting on my fucking nerves at the moment because I cannot move on social media for it, which is, and I need to tread oh so carefully to avoid sounding like a massive hypocrite or indeed unpleasant to friends. Here we go. Why are people all being flown out to like Dubai for massive parties for clone brands, and you've got people who were otherwise kind of I would say moderately competent fragrance reviewers who are all basically clearly now just fucking sucking the corporate teat and taking the money to be flown out to Dubai and to stand in front
brand.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I don't mind dupes, right? I God knows I have a business making them, so I can't be a complete hypocrite here. But when did I don't know? Something just changed. Where now, like all the big launch events are actually dupe houses are doing it. Dupe houses are now splashing out and having massive launch parties where there appear to be like 100 content creators. God, I hate that word. But content creators like all interviewing each other and vomiting up their fucking nauseatingly cheerful faces on Instagram and such. Like, hey, what's your favourite Al Arabiat fucking clone perfume? Well, I like Bakur number 47. I was like, what fucking, who are you? And why is this now a thing?
I don't know, but if you fly me to Manchester, I'll talk like great things about your brand, if you like. We'll go to Manchester. We'll hang out. I don't know. Where'd you hang out in Manchester? Outside the Selfridges or something? And,
yeah. Do one of those street interviews that James loves.
Get a portion of chips and
yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Are you having to bear witness to all of this stuff?
I don't do social media anymore.
No, I know you
completely sacked it off. I'm out of it, which is a very nice place to be.
My Insta is private, and I have unfollowed a lot of people who I initially followed, and I have quite a small group of people who just are not into that kind of thing.
Yes, the gated community.
And I find that
the exclusive gated community. Yeah.
Well, no, I've just got my little like echo bubble of people with taste that I like.
No, fair enough.
Let's be fair. That's what we all want, but Instagram keeps shoving the algorithm in our chops, despite like in some sort of abusive relationship or whatever. Like you like it, keep eating the trash, and you're like, I'm just trying to look at a perfume. Why am I now watching a video of some Indian dude make a boat? Like, I don't know, like what the fuck, or some sort of street fight in Massachusetts. Like, why am I watching this? I don't understand. It is.
I think the downside of being hugely popular on Instagram, like you are, Dan,
so
is
popular
that well, you have got a lot of followers.
I know, but it's like
the downside is that the algorithm feeds you a lot of stuff.
Oh, so much bullshit.
I don't. Yeah, I just by cutting myself off from that, I'm saving my own mental health, because I don't think that I would last long if I had to watch that.
Yeah, it is sort of just a bit on the depressing side, really. I mean, I sort of, like I say, people in glass houses shouldn't really throw giant jagged rocks around the place.
You're not flying people out to Dubai, though, are you?
No, I mean...
not even flying yourself out to Dubai.
Would that I could, but unfortunately I can't. So yeah, that's a weird... that is a weird fucking mega trend that I've noticed. But I've got one other that I had thought of as well, which is that licorice seems to be back on the agenda. And I was wondering about the extent to which Dior are responsible for this, because Dior's Sauvage Elixir, another of the trends, but the Sauvage Elixir has this whole licorice thing going on. And sure, there were licorice perfumes before then, but it never really struck me as being a mainstream kind of thing. And so the only other one that I really remember standing out was the Penhaligon's Legacy of Petra one, which actually is surprisingly nice. But recently there's been like a whole kind of spate of them, and particularly I'm thinking of the new Creed one, Oud Zarian, which by the way is really fucking good, annoyingly. Ooh. Yeah, it's quite annoying. I think it's fucking great. I've seen, so it is a little bit like Amouage Outlands. There is no denying that. It's a bit like a lighter...
I like that. I thought that was an excellent perfume.
It is. It's Cecile Sorokian, and she clearly has repurposed several points from Outlands into Oud Zarian. However, Outlands, I love it, but I can barely wear it because it's so strong. It is so absurdly fucking potent that literally 2 sprays and I'm kind of like, that's it. I'm tapped out. Whereas the Creed is just a lot more versatile. So it is a bit like Outlands Light. I'll accept that, but it's really good for that. But that's got a kind of good glob of licorice in. And then also, I think I mentioned in the last episode, but the Dries Van Noten Gold Havana, also very licorice heavy. And there just seems to be a bit more licorice going on generally in the mainstream.
I mean, I think on your first question with how much has Dior got to do with that, with Sauvage, I think hugely. Like, you know, that's like the number one selling perfume for the last 10 years. It has to have a huge influence on the industry. But what I've noticed, and I think you're right, but what I've noticed is the licorice, like the more modern licorices that I've been smelling, are better than the old ones in the sense, or I'll rephrase that, they're more to my taste than the old ones, because a lot of older licorice perfumes were much lighter, and I always felt that they were like almost like a suggestion of licorice, whereas now we get like it's a much thicker, treacly, sort of darker licorice, which is more what I always hoped for, you know, which is why I love Au Noir originally, because that had like, that licorice was really dark licorice, like it was no messing around, you know, it was thick, it was like molasses almost, and I loved that. Whereas you look at the other sort of popular ones from, you know, previous, like Lolita Lempicka, or there was the L'Artisan Parfumeur, the wolf one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Méchant Loup.
Yes.
That was another licorice perfume. But again, both of them very light, very airy sort of take on that. Whereas I think now the licorices that I've smelled, more modern ones, have been, definitely more thick, more heavy, a bit more sort of daring in a way. I like them as well. I do love a licorice, which is ironic because I hate licorice as something to eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never liked it. I hated it.
Yeah,
but I always loved the smell of it. Used to love the smell of. Do you remember? Like, I don't know, you possibly still get them now, like Holland & Barrett's and stuff, but those old health food shops used to get, and they'd have the jars of the licorice sticks.
Oh,
they?
yeah.
I used to love the smell of those health food shops, man, because you could just smell the licorice sticks from outside. So yeah, I've always loved the smell of licorice, but the taste of it, nah. But yeah, no, so I quite like that trend.
Random fun fact about me. I was barred for life from...
From Holland & Barrett?
No.
Right. I was going to say.
No, it's a bit. I'm afraid it's a bit more straightforward than that. I was barred for life from the Didsbury, which is where I live, the Didsbury Facebook group, because there's like an alternative health food store in Didsbury, and they had a sign outside saying, they had a palm reader on like palm readings Thursday evening, and I'd sort of posted a picture in the Didsbury Facebook group with some sort of, typically scathing sort of like
acerbic kind of.
Yeah, what is this fucking bullshit? Anyway, I was booted out of the Didsbury Facebook group and told that was it. You get one chance and one chance only, apparently. So yeah, health food stores trigger me.
The modern equivalent of being like exiled from the village.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I was heartbroken. I say heartbroken. Well, hey, listen, 5 years later, I'm still telling the fucking story on the podcast. So, where is the truth in this issue? Okay, so licorice. Fliss, any thoughts on licorice, or include any other trends you'd like to speak about?
I think I've noticed a lot of cherry things.
Oh,
recently.
Yes.
But I can't for the life of me remember what they are, because
Caspian cherry. Caspian cherry was an electimus one, I think.
There's quite a lot of cherry things, but it's not my notes, so I haven't tried them, and therefore I've not put them on the spreadsheet, so I can't talk about them.
Well, Tom Ford has a whole fucking lost cherry and fucking cherry and cherry twat face. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, all of that, I feel like, has passed me by as a particular section of gourmand that I'm aware that is happening, but I'm not that bothered about.
Yeah,
I'm curious to know how oud is going.
How's oud going?
Fair. Yeah. Well, because I feel like there was this massive oud explosion. I feel as if like it's never going to go away, but I wonder if it's maybe not.
It's not.
Thing, or
it's
I don't know.
But oud is bullshit now.
I was going to suggest actually that we're definitely on the down of the bell curve. Do you know? Like
you're right.
I actually was thinking that you don't see a lot of oud now. It's a lot more gourmandy, sort of like the salt things and stuff like that, rather than these kind of heavy oud fragrances.
And the ouds that are coming out are often oud with something else. So there are oud cherry or oud gourmand. There's a lot of oud is almost like something that's happening underneath. And I say oud, I would say that for the most part, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out that says oud, and it's got nothing to do with oud.
Well, 100%. I got last week oud Montagne. From the fancy schmancy Rabanne line. Incidentally, the most gorgeous bottles, just beautiful. But which was the only reason I got it, because I really wanted one of the bottles. But the perfume was really bang fucking average, and it was called Oud Montagne, but actually there was no oud at all. It was just a sort of generic.
It's almost like you say oud, or they put the word oud in the title in the same way as you would put elixir or whatever in the title as a way of getting people 100%.
in. Yeah.
I was wearing this week Dior Purple Oud, and that's a vetiver fragrance. Yeah. it's brilliant. I love it, and I think it's a great vetiver fragrance, but it's not an oud fragrance. It's nothing to do with oud.
Or perhaps purple means nothing to do with. So purple oud means nothing to do with oud. Well, the oud montagna was just a generic sort of spicy, warm, ambery thing. And I think it's strange to me because there was a marketing strategy which seemed to be to put fucking oud in everything, And even if there's no oud, put the word oud there. But that seems to have, as you said, fallen away quite rapidly. And it's strange to see Rabanne still doing that. Although they did that with... I bought a bottle of it. I don't know why I did it. I sometimes do these completely stupid things, but I bought a bottle of the 1 million golden oud. Dirty boy. I know. I felt pretty bad about it, but I was like, I really want to take a picture of that stupid fucking gaudy bottle, and maybe the golden oud one will be all right. But it's just a generic woody vanilla sort of perfume, and there's no. I mean, if there is an oud accord or something in there, whatever, but there's definitely no real oud. This is not a real oud perfume, and all these ouds were always sanitized anyway, but you just don't see as much of it. Although that said, I just spent the last 10 minutes banging on about Oud Zarian by Creed, which is actually a really good perfume, but again, not to my mind particularly oudy. So there you go. So that's another trend we've identified, an inverted trend. We're on the downward slope of that.
I think that there's something about, I believe there's going to be another big slam of IFRA guidelines.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's going to be a whole load more of like legacy perfumes or reimagined perfumes coming out. So like we saw like last year, that whole private collection from Estee Lauder come out with, like their legacy white linen, legacy whatever. That I think they would have been better not to even call them that, because they smell so opposite to the OGs. They stand very differently as themselves, but calling them, legacy.
It's like setting yourself up for failure if you're changing it. I mean, legacy is supposed to suggest that it's the old one. Yeah.
And I wonder how much stuff is going to have to be reimagined again, and that's less about what's happening this year, but that me kind of looking into the future a bit. I think that there's going to be a whole load of reimagining, and I think there's going to have to be a decision some people are going to have to make about, do we re-release with the old name, or do we use the reimagined line in the same way as Elixir and Intense has been happening a lot? Are we going to see a lot more things that are reimagined or whatever?
I feel like this is
to me.
I feel like this is very much the point that I would want James's. I'd want James's opinions on all of this, but I mean, definitely on the IFRA stuff. This is the kind of shit that we're way better with James. Because, in fact, so let's make a note. I will ask him about this shit when he's next able to join us. That will be interesting to see what happens there. Any other trends that you people have noticed, other than my trend towards increasingly lack of preparedness for these episodes? No.
Not really.
You're meant to say, that's not a trend we've noticed, Dan.
Oh, right. Yeah. No.
No, it's great. It's going really well. Good. Thanks for saying that, Ben. Thanks.
What you could interpret that as me suggesting that you're so good at improvisation that I didn't even notice.
Yeah. That's exactly how I'm going to read it. Well done. Yeah. Well rescued there, mate. I'm very impressed. Yeah. Okay. Well, look, I think we've covered quite a bit of ground there in terms of mega trends. We talked about twats in Dubai, salt, cherries, oud, beast mode. What else? I can't remember.
I want to see the death of beast mode. I really, really want to see the death of beast mode.
Do you reckon 2026 will be the death of beast mode? I don't think it will be. I think 2026 will be where beast mode comes into its own and I hate this expression, by the way, but frag talk. You know, as in, please,
Yeah.
someone punch me in the gob.
Someone punch me.
Yeah. Frag top.
I think there's something sort of like there's a socio-economical kind of almost socio-political discussion around fashion, and when things get to a place where they are harder to pin down, or that there's a lot of, you know, what's the word, fragmentation, or there's a lot of discord. People want their fashion or their art or their design or indeed their perfumes to be solid in a certain way. And so there's going to be less experimentation and probably more big beast mode. I've got less money to spend, so when I do spend it, I want it to be bigger and better and stronger. I want it to be the elixir of something I already know, for an expensive price, so it looks, I feel great buying it and everyone can smell it. And I think that there's something around that I feel is a prediction.
Okay.
In fashion and trends, like, you tend to get the inversion, you know, like the kickback and the inversion. So does that mean that, like, over the next couple of years, we're going to end up with, like, cologne? Instead of, like, Absolute, we're going to have cologne version, which is actually, oh, no, this one's better because it's got less.
Maybe.
It's a bit of a harder sell, isn't it?
It's got more less. I saw a thing the other day that said minimalism is a scam by big small to sell more less. I love that. Actually, that's fair. I suspect no, that's not what's going to happen, though. I think next year's ultimate fragrance of the year will probably be a Quentin Biche Elixir Absolute with notes of salt and licorice, but definitely no oud. That's probably where we're going. And if it's a sporty fragrance for Fliss, so much the better. Okay, well, look, let's wrap this absolute catastrophe up for the week. It's been a pleasure, but obviously we've missed our fourth odorant, so hopefully we'll be able to get him back for the next bloody episode. And in the meantime, thank you for listening, guys. Thanks for being here. It's been a right pleasure. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Okay, we've been Les Odorants. We'll be back real soon with the next episode. Stick with us. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.